TrueHouse. I'm Justin House. Just get this live here as well. I can change this camera angle a little bit. And we're live there on Instagram as well. Alrighty, that'll do. The camera angle's not amazing, but I'm not going to be bothered. I'm going to take my welcome to TrueHouse, episode 439, today on Monday the 15th of November 2021. I'm Justin House, and yeah, let's get this going. Okay, do excuse me tonight, forgive me. I'm going to just quickly take my medication, which was due 40 minutes ago. So I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have a little bit of rice as well while I do this stream. I just, by my own admission, I've a little bit messed up today with my scheduling, which is hilarious, really, considering I'm not doing a great deal these days. Let me get myself a bit centre-ish. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so what we're going to talk about tonight is, as I take my medication, let me get this out of the way. This morning. By the way, pro tip to anyone who wants to transport or carry their medication. This is what I personally use, is these little tubes. They're aluminium, I guess they're aluminium, but each one, just for the sake of, there's a lot of people out there that have to carry vitamins, minerals, anyone that's into looking after their health. It's quite commonplace. It's quite routine to see people, whether it's at the office or in the gym, and they're transporting vitamins and supplements. And if you have got to carry anything, I recommend these because they just are discreet, small. I obviously have to carry a AM and a PM because it's all my medication in there. But each one is like an individual screw, so which I shall demonstrate. So I've got to take them, but they do this, look. So each one does that, so you can, to your heart's content. So I've got I rarely, very rarely would do this. Mind you, I'm not doing anything wrong. These are only my anti-rejection meds, immunosuppressants. But one has to do this in order to keep one's transplant well. There's a lot of things going on at the moment in the world. I know it's stating the obvious, but I can't help but feel, let me get this out of the way. I can talk freely rather than interrupting myself. Hold on. Just giving little demos here, really, aren't I? See? They just undo. So you can, I don't know if you can see that on camera. So each one would contain said medication or whatever you're taking. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Last one. And the last one I take is Lipitor. Yes, Lipitor. Mind you, I've had a couple of stents from 2 myocardial infarctions done. So that's, like I say, that's something I heartily recommend is these things. Okay, it's not the sort of thing that attracts attention, and it's just I think it's a very neat solution to carrying your meds. And you can make them as long as you like. You can buy these on Amazon. Link in description, right? But you can buy it on Amazon, and yeah, like I say, it's an actual genius way of carrying, anything. Obviously, each one you can see that. See, so whatever tablets you've got to take. I mean, let's face it, a lot of it doesn't even need to be, drugs. It's just tablets. People take vitamin C, vitamin D. Look at the time we're in. So again, it's I think that kind of cool, to be honest with you, sort of thing you could just stick in a bag. And obviously, depending on, if you're someone like me, who has to take a lot of stuff, then yes, I've got 2 of them, an AM and a PM. But most people would just, there's nothing stopping anyone. God, I'm doing a promo for this now. Nothing stopping anyone having just a little one, yay big, and you put that top on it there. And that might just contain your vitamin D, vitamin C, waterproof as well. They've got a little rubber O-ring in there, so they're waterproof. And it's a proper metal construction. So they're on Amazon under something like, well, I could probably dig it out anyway, but it's like tablet container, tube. So I'm going to have a little bit of munch because I'm hungry. I know, gross. Spitting out rice on camera. Okay, that'll do. Right. Tonight, let's talk about a couple of things. It's going to be fun. Well, I think it'll be fun to talk about these things anyway. Really, Ivy Getty's wedding. Don't know if it's just something I noticed on quite a light episode tonight. Really, nothing too crazy. But again, the constant theme in this live stream is me cathartically just talking really to myself, because I know there's not a big audience, but tiny infinitesimal audience. But it's just really the discipline of me doing this. I'm going to talk for 40 minutes or so. That'll do. It's really understanding what's going on and trying to make some sense of it, understanding that things seem to be missing, so common sense isn't common anymore. It doesn't appear to be. There appears to be a lot of false outrage. So one of the things that at a societal level that seems to be very evident to me is people, literally amateur dramatics, hand wringing, oh my God, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. A lot of people seem to be reacting as if things are terrible. And while I acknowledge that obviously, the COVID and everything else has been challenging, none of this, or should I say, all of this pales into insignificance compared to real catastrophic events such as World War II, and in my own country here in the UK when we were bombed in the war. And I don't know. I just think we are living in a time of abundance, of decadence, of access and excess. Everything, excuse me, everything's very available, everything's very gettable, you know. Um, I certainly don't moan. I don't, you know, I here just sat in my own little world, in my own little pocket of the world here, and it's really, at the end of the day, I am just a guy talking on a mic in his little flat um, in Britain, and my corner of the world, my purview is looking at the global stage and thinking, wow, it's so big. And I think a lot of us get caught up in trivia. A lot of us, I've done it countless times in my life where I've been engaged. You know, I've actually invested effort, energy into literal nonsense, into literal trivia. And I think the there's a narrative. There's clearly a narrative occurring. Dropping a pen. Let me just get that. Sorry. Oh well. But I just a lot of the time here, I'm almost sort of trying to give myself self-help on camera. Really, you know, I'm sort of talking to someone or no one, just saying, "Wow, look at what's going on." So if I was just to take a swipe tonight of the news, let me just do that. Let's just say, look at the news. You know, what's happening with the news, and of course, you could take a slice of that. You can take a massive slice, and it depends. Again, it depends on your purview, doesn't it? It depends on what optics. You know, how you're looking at it, and from where you are, You know, it depends on culturally and geographically where you are. But to a typical bloke like me who is going to pick up his smartphone and just have a little scroll, I'm going to see what Google News is going to say, and I'm seeing Wicked Witch Nancy Pelosi. So I'm going to keep it quite light. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House for the Democrats, officiating an extravagant wedding on behalf or for the Getty family. And again, straight away, Ivy Getty, the girl in question, billionaire family, you know, so she's inherited whatever. I've got no idea what she's inherited, but the wedding covered by Vogue and on the news, it's beyond extravagant. And I think it's tone deaf. I think I'm not, look, how much of a dickhead would I be to come on here and say, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair, why can't it be me? Do you know what I mean? Because that in and of itself is I think that's quite, let me get this mic a bit closer, that's quite a negative thing to say, isn't it? And again, that reeks of me being, it can't, you know, like, oh my God. That puts me into the category of people that are butthurt. That, look, some people are born into it. You're genetically. Ask yourself this, and I'm not defending the rich people at all, because I think having something that lavish is pretty gross. But I know I would not complain. If I was just lucky enough to literally, because that's what we're talking about here. When we get down to the crux of this is a person that was literally, in the physical sense, born into it. So, you know, you're a baby. You've literally come out of your mother, and your mother happens to be the wife of whatever Getty. I can't even remember. I lived. I've got vague memories of the Getty Museum because I lived in Los Angeles for 3 years, and I remember driving beautiful part of, anyway, in the hills, but just that whole Getty Museum thing, I don't know, but they're fabulously wealthy. And of course, the media and it's all over the internet. Um, People covering this. I think again, tone deaf wedding, insofar as the people doing it, the people organising it, the people actually saying, "I want this." I know I would have kept that shit quiet. I would have I would have not have had this contractual thing with someone like Vogue, or of course back in the day it was Hello and OK magazine, wasn't it? Exclusive, wedding photographs. Look at the Beckhams, or whatever, right? Same thing, same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. It's still, a young, attractive couple with absurd, um, just absurd wealth, a level of absurdity that I think reports say that this wedding was something like 60 grand a head, for guests. I don't know, I'm probably misquoting, but an obscene amount of money. All I'm saying is that in the current climate of COVID and the haves and the have-nots, this cultural divide, it's really quite palpable, isn't it? You can feel it, whether it's a political thing or a social thing or a class thing or just again that kind of chasm is the word I'm looking for, between people that are swimming in money versus people that are just kind of screwed. So there's that. And I feel, in my humble opinion, that the Gettys, the people that did this, and just let's have Nancy Pelosi here. I mean, God, that straight away shows politically where they're aligned, they're affiliated, isn't it? If you're getting just rubbing shoulders with, smooching with, it's just all a bit. Oh God, it's all, come on, it is, isn't it? It's all a bit gross. And when you see the pictures online of Nancy Pelosi, maskless, of course, maskless, officiating this wedding of these billionaire family, you're like, that's pretty gross, pretty tone deaf. Speaking of tone deaf, second subject, Colin Kaepernick. I've watched probably half an hour, if I'm honest, of the, what was it called? Colin on Black and White? Well, I call it Colin clowning Kaepernick, really, just LARPing, isn't he? Live action role playing, true LARParian. This recent, this, I was going to say comedy, I shouldn't say comedy. This recent documentary, if you like, or just, I don't know, you got Colin, what was that strange squeak that left my mouth? You got Colin Kaepernick, who's made himself popular or infamous with the whole kneeling thing a while ago, and again, it's become trendy to be an activist, and I personally cringe and wonder at why or how someone qualifies themselves as an activist, and they're very wealthy and not struggling and not oppressed and not hard done by. It's like, just what what are you being an activist? Do you know what I mean? It's like, there is this, I'm going to be an activist, but I don't really know true suffering, loss, pain, oppression, real oppression. Look, the comparison made by Colin Kaepernick in this Netflix documentary was that the old slave trade was applicable to the NFL, National Football League's process of vetting athletes. Now, I think this was really bad taste. I think it's really sick, it's really embarrassing, clowning, cringeworthy, because when you're measuring athletic performance, actual, do you know what I mean? Just real requirements. Real requirements. How far can you throw if you're a quarterback, or I don't know, kick or run or speed, or this is no different to when I used to do bodybuilding or anything, or motorcycle racing, or anything that's an athletic endeavour, that's a competitive sport, and moreover, a competitive sport that people are literally killing themselves to get into it. Now, I wasn't alive at the time, but I can't imagine anyone killing themselves or going to extreme depths to get themselves in the NFL. So I just find it massively disingenuous, and it's clowning racism, isn't it? It's another, LARPing move, political activist Colin Kaepernick, and you can't take this shit seriously. It's embarrassing, terribly embarrassing. There's a sequence that everyone's seen now of Colin Kaepernick with his big fro. He's trying too hard. It's I don't even think he is actually. I mean, I can't prove it. I'd have to, you know, I don't know. How would you prove it? But I'm sure there are ways. I don't think for a minute Colin Kaepernick is truly mixed, as they say, because he's got two white parents. So, yeah. So some people try and be black, some people try and be white, some people try this cultural appropriation thing too hard. They just try too much. That's really, you know, super sketchy. There's something sketchy about this. I don't know. The whole thing reeks of desperation. The whole thing, you know, everyone's talking about this. Who's got an audience? I mean, I know Joe Rogan mentioned it, and other podcasters have that equally. Or big people. I don't know, guys. I just find it enough. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, if there's actual racism, if there's actual so-called systemic racism, and with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial going on, that's something, isn't it? The Kyle Rittenhouse trial is going on in Kenosha, and I hope that the lad gets off. I really mean that. I really mean that. Again, just blown away by the own goal, blown away by the own goal, blown away by the just. I don't think you need to layer this, Mr. Colin Kaepernick, as if he's gonna. I don't know. It's Megyn Kelly covered this very well with a chap whose name escapes me, who came on, a black guy, and he was talking about this, and he said he was embarrassed as a black guy because the narrative, the portrayal of Colin Kaepernick's parents were they were racist, and everyone basically, everyone's a racist, and everyone. This is where the left are doubling down. With the recent Virginia election going, to Youngkin going red. And it's just like, accept your defeat and just literally lap it up and just, suck it up. It's the whole thing is just, it's abhorrent. I think it's really bad. Reaching, that's all I can say. It seems to be a reach. What was the last thing I was going to cover? So Colin Kaepernick, the Ivy Getty wedding. Oh God, there was something else I was going to talk about tonight. Shoot, I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, it's gone. I didn't write it down. I think it was probably to do with, again, the general feeling that it's, I want to almost break the monotony, because I'm acutely aware that on this live stream I'm talking about a few key subjects over and over again, um, but they seem to be reoccurring. It's like there is this terrible, like there seems to be a finger pointing narrative, like a war going on. I'm struggling to think of something more specific, but there seems to be, it's certainly something you can feel. It's certainly something that, it's a strong narrative. I mean, I wish for simpler times. I wish people would just, if I'm really honest, I just wish everyone would shut the fuck up and get on with it. I actually mean that. It's the conversation. Even me talking about this is a bit like, oh, it's just, it's like we can talk about masking or mandates or vaxing or. It, meanwhile, the billionaires are getting richer and the rest of us are not, and it's just it's strange. It's strange what's going on. Even saying that, it's like, oh, conspiracy theorists. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I can't be possessed of a radical ideology. I can't be. I'm not. I'm not so inclined to go rabbit hole. Let me dive in. Let me invest. Um, Look, people have always wanted, haven't they? People have always wanted. Look, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I liked certain bands, certain groups. I would emulate them. I would dress like them. Um, would it be wrong of me to suggest that this new um, political divide is akin to religion? I almost feel that it's just it's a funny it's I don't know. I don't know. It's a funny one, man. Oh gosh. I don't know. I'll make it brief tonight. I'll stop at half an hour. I'll stop in a couple of minutes because I'm struggling to get out a good one tonight. My mind's a bit. Yeah, I'm fully aware of my own health. I've had a big spell of insomnia, a big spell of wacky sleep patterns. Um, hmm. Hence my lack of energy on these streams. Um, but I don't want to flog a dead horse too much. I myself easily fall into the trap of watching one too many YouTube debates, one too many YouTube videos of people that, panel discussions, and they end up being screaming matches and just literally just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, people people need to do more. Yeah, yeah. People need to do. I'm just thinking with my eyes shut as I fall into another sleep on camera. I think people need to basically do less tribal shit. Um, that's my feet on the floor. Um, yeah, you've only got to spend a few minutes on YouTube and looking at people in these debate rooms, like literally like I'm doing now, but streaming on a platform like Twitch. I do like Twitch, and I myself am quite. I find them quite alluring. I'll be honest. When I watch Stephen Bonnell, Destiny, aka Destiny, do his debate stuff and have just seething arguments with people. I love it. I'm like, it's brilliant. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird. It's a weird old time. As Bridget Fedesi says, it's a dumpster fire. Another popular podcaster. Um, yeah, I think the tone deafness of the general haves and have-nots, the despicable, disgraceful void. That's why we, yawning at Gen Pop, got a kick last week of watching Leonardo DiCaprio own Jeff Bezos, because I don't know, so good look, always falling asleep on camera. Let's change that angle a little bit, maybe. Hold on. Just a little adjustment there. Sorry, I'm going to take advantage of the fact there's no one really watching. See the duct tape holding up my little false wall behind me? Probably there. Anyway, it's time for me to go. My stomach's rumbling. Right, I'm going to go because I haven't really achieved a lot tonight, but for what it's worth, I hope someone watches it and gets some sort of pleasure out of it. Look, this has been a bit shit tonight, but just, I'll kick it into gear tomorrow night. I'm going to get an early night tonight. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow night. This has been Justin House, TrueHouse, episode 439. Gosh, 440 tomorrow. All right, I'll see you soon. Be nice. Take care. Same time, same place, and the same face tomorrow. Cheers.